Hello and welcome to our video wrap of a very busy week of industry news brought to you by Estate Agent Today and Letting Agent Today. The biggest story of this week came from the Chancellor George Osborne, who dropped a bombshell, even if it was a small one, by stating in the summer budget that mortgage interest tax relief for buy-to-let owners would be phased down to the basic rate. This means that any buy-to-let landlord on a high rate of tax, an estimated 50% of landlords, will end up paying more tax. There has been a generally hostile reaction from agents. Jackson Stopps and Staff says this is a major blow to the letting sector, while Hunter's Property Group warns this will discourage new landlords joining the sector, reduce the amount of stock to let and then lead to higher rents. This story is set to rumble on for the next few weeks as landlords decide whether to stay in the letting business or cut and run. There was some better news this week though, especially about the housing market, with several stories emerging which should give agents a spring in their step. The first was from the Halifax House Price Index. This showed that house prices jumped 1.7% in June and have risen 3.3% over the past 3 months. We were as sceptical as the next agent about house price indices, but the Halifax has a better track record for accuracy than most. The other good market news stories this week came from Connells, which saw a surge in valuations in May with a 2% rise in valuations for owner-occupier homes and also a 7% increase in buy-to-let valuations. Then there was a survey by the financial consultancy Equifax Touchstone, which shows mortgage borrowing by owner-occupiers up 2% as well, all suggesting there may be a summer bounce in the market. The biggest agency announcement this week came from Countrywide. The huge group of agencies account for 10% of all residential transactions in the UK. It announced a major reshuffle of its executive team. Out go some of the longest-standing members and in comes some new faces from outside the industry. A retail guru from Carphone Warehouse, a former Lloyds Banking Group chief and human resources expert from Bupa are amongst the new recruits coming in. Many people have interpreted this as a preparation for Countrywide to make a dramatic increase in its activities in the online sales and letting sectors, although no firm announcement about this has come from the organisation yet. But there has been a definite new investment from the city in one of the biggest online agencies, Purplebricks. The city's top fund manager, Neil Woodford, has increased his involvement in the company using his investment management consultancy to buy over 25% of the agency. It now suggests that Purplebricks is valued at more than £100 million, despite being set up only just over 1 year ago. Perhaps the most surprising story of the week has been the U-turn by the housing charity Shelter. After a substantial period appearing to support the idea of rent controls, it this week announced that severe controls would actually be bad for the rental sector, a view which letting agents, landlords and many economists have suggested for months. In a report commissioned by Shelter, researchers from the University of Cambridge have warned that very strict rent controls would remove landlords' financial incentives to let their properties. The end result may be landlords withdrawing from the sector, therefore leading to rising rents as more tenants chase fewer properties, while those landlords who stayed involved may be less inclined to invest in their stock, leading to poorer quality homes. Shelter's report actually says, in practice, hard rent controls lead to create a two-tier system. Well, we'd agree with that. Finally, a cheer for the latest winners of the Estes Agents of the Month award. The award organisers are now naming monthly winners too, based on reviews provided by the agent's own clients, so each winner is a real consumer's champion and a credit to the industry. The June winners announced this week were the Tring branch of the Nash Partnership Estate Agency and the Birmingham Central and Christchurch branches of the Belvoir Letting Agency. So that's it for this week. Thanks so much for watching our video. We'll be back again next week, but if you want to keep up to date in the meantime, check in every day to read the news from the Estate Agent Today and Letting Agent Today. See you next time.